Hello everyone, today I've come with my next video, and in this video we'll be discussing the questions on hereditary. We have already completed the chapter hereditary, and based on the term 1 CBSE what has been proposed, you'll be getting most of it as you will be getting everything as MCQs. So let's do some MCQs on hereditary. The first question: what did Gregor Mendel use to lay down the principles of inheritance? So what did he use? Before laying down, he did the experiments with something. What did he use for his experiments? That is the basic thing that I wanted to ask in this question, but it is not given as a direct format. It is a little bit on a twisted one. What did Gregor Mendel use to lay down the principles? So what did he use? He used a pea plant. That is the option A. So what was the term coined by Mendel responsible for the expression of traits exhibited one coming from each parent? So what was the term coined by? So it was not gamete, because gamete was not responsible for the expression of traits. It was not responsible as of what we know now, what according to the definition of gamete, it is not responsible for the expression of traits. Next is allele, gene or chromosome. So it was allele that was termed by Mendel, and according to him, it was allele that expressed or that helped in the expression of any trait. So the answer should be B. What is the term used for the result of the genotypic constitution which is visible outside? Now, a genotypic constitution was visible outside. The term that we use is called genotype. No. Is it a phenotype? Yes, it is a phenotype. Inherited trait? It is no. And dominant? No. So it is a phenotype that gets expressed outside, and this phenotype is based on the genotypic constitution of that particular organism or that particular individual. So option is B. What was the theory of inheritance before Mendel proposed the laws of inheritance? That is, traits inherited were random, traits skipped generation, traits were decided by God, and traits appeared as a mixing of the parental lines. So the option traits appeared as a mixing of the parental lines is correct, because this is what was thought, or this is what was postulated before Mendel gave his laws of inheritance. It was thought that whatever the parental traits are there, those got mixed up together and it got appeared in the next or the future phenotype or the future offspring. Answer is D. The theory of evolution of species by natural selection was given by Mendel? No. It was given by Weinberg? No. Darwin or Lamarck? It was given by Darwin. Answer is C. The process of selection of individuals with desired characters by humans is known as? So it is the selection of individual with desired characters, and it is done by human. So what it should be? Natural selection? No, because natural selection is not done by humans. It is done by the nature. Artificial selection? Yes, it is artificial selection, because this is the man-made selection that is taken place, and this is done based on the phenotypic or the phenotypic observation of the particular individual. Segregation? No. Independent assortment? No, because they are generally the laws of inheritance. So it is the artificial selection, that is option B. A cross between a homozygous tall pea plant, capital T, and a homozygous short pea plant, small t, resulted in a progress that were of the tall phenotype as: tallness is a recessive trait, tallness is a dominant trait, dwarfness is a dominant trait, and dwarfness is a recessive trait. Now what they are telling, a cross was done between two individual plants, that is, one is pure tall, that is capital T, another one was pure dwarf, that is small t. Now they are telling what the resultant progenies of the phenotype. Now the F1 that is developed, what will be the phenotype of that resulting F1? So the resulting F1 will be of tall types. So because tallness is the dominant trait. So basically tallness is a dominant trait, because we have learned that in the F1 always the dominant trait gets expressed. In the presence or the absence of a recessive trait. If the dominant trait is there or is present, it always expresses itself. So capital T is the dominant trait, that is the tall T plant, and that gets expressed. So the F1 that is formed from that cross are all tall plants, and the tallness is a dominant trait. So it is answer B. The number of pairs of sex chromosome in a zygote of human being are 1, 2, 3 or 4. What is the number of pairs of sex chromosome? It is only one pair of sex chromosome that we have. 22 pairs of autosomes and one pair of sex chromosomes. So answer is A. A zygote, which is an X chromosome inherited from the father, will develop into a girl, a boy, identical twins, or none of these. Now they are telling a zygote has an X chromosome which is inherited from the father. If you remember the chapter of hereditary, we have gone through, or we have learned that a sex is determined in a person by the father or by the male individual. So here they are telling the X chromosome, one X chromosome is inherited, and that too it is from the father. We also have studied that during the formation of zygote, one compulsory X chromosome comes from the mother, because the sex chromosomes of the mother, they are both the XX, and for that of the father is a X and Y chromosome. So the determination of a sex of a child depends on the father. Now if the father passes on an X chromosome, then automatically another X chromosome also from the mother. So the progeny, or so the zygote that develops, will be that of a girl. Because it is double X chromosome. If it was boy, it should have been X and Y chromosome. So option is answer A. A man with a blood group A marries a woman having a blood group O. What will be the blood group of the child? What can be the blood group of the child? Blood group can be A, it can be blood group O, either blood group A or O, or blood group AB. So the option should be either blood group A or blood group O. Man is a blood group A, whereas the woman is a blood group O. So the child can have either of the blood groups, that is either A or O. So it should be option C. What will be the phenotypic expression of progenies developed from a cross tall plant with a round seeds and short plant with wrinkled seeds? Now they are asking the phenotypic expression of the progenies of a tall plant with round seeds. Now tall plant with round seeds and short plant with wrinkled seeds means these. Now we have to see for the options. All plants will be tall with round seeds, all plants will be tall with wrinkled seeds, all plants will be short with round seeds, and all plants will be short with wrinkled seeds. Now we can understand from the question that a tall plant with round seeds means those are the dominant traits, or those are the dominant traits that is there in the parent, and that is a pure dominant. We are taking into consideration that being a pure dominant, because the other one is a short wrinkled seeds. Short wrinkled seeds means it is totally a recessive character. So if short and wrinkled is getting expressed, that means the other parent or the other plant is totally a recessive or a pure recessive. It is a homozygous recessive plant, and this is a homozygous dominant plant. So we will think that what will we see? All plants will be tall with the round seeds, and because tall and round both are dominant characters, they both will get expressed. So it will be all the plants with tall and round seeds. That is answer, or option A. A man with a blood group A marries a woman have blood group O. What will be the blood group of the child? It will be either blood group A or O. If a round green seeded pea plant, capital R, small y, is crossed with a wrinkled yellow seeded pea plant, small r, capital Y, the progenies produced in the F1 generation will be. Now they are telling it is a pea plant, capital R, small y. That is, it is totally dominant of the round, and it is crossed with a wrinkled yellow pea. It is a round and green seeded. See, if it is a round and green seeded means capital R stands for the round, and that is the dominant trait. So capital R stands for the round, and that is the dominant trait, whereas small y stands for the green, which is a recessive trait. So round and green, and this is yellow, which is a recessive trait, and wrinkled yellow. Wrinkled is the smaller, and yellow is the capital Y. All the progenies in F2 will be, see, because this is capital R, this capital R will get expressed because it is truly dominant, or it is homozygous dominant, that is capital R. So all will be round, and capital Y means yellow. So all will be round and yellow. Because green means it is a recessive trait. Green means it is small y, and if this cannot express because already we have capital Y, round and yellow. Answer is B. The process of evolution in a species where characteristics which help individual organisms to survive and reproduce are passed on to their offspring, and those characteristics which do not help are not passed, and is called artificial selection, natural selection, speciation, or hybridization. It happens due to natural selection. It is answer B. Which of the following decides the sex of the child? In one of the previous questions, I told you the answer: male gamete, female gamete, both sperm and ovum, or none of them. It is the male gamete or the sperm decides the sex of the child. That is option A. In humans, if a gene B gives brown eyes and gene small b gives blue eyes, what will be the color of the eye of the person having combination capital B, small b, and capital B, capital B? Now in both the cases you have capital B in the options, okay? One is capital B, small b. Now small b means it is a recessive trait, whereas capital B means it's the dominant trait. So we have told you the dominant gene or the dominant trait always expresses itself whenever and wherever it gets a chance. In presence or in absence of a recessive, it will always express itself. So here the capital B is there. Here also we have a capital B. So always we'll get the dominant traits or the dominant phenotype getting expressed. Now they have told that capital B, that is a dominant trait, gives a brown eye. So here both will be brown. That is blue and brown? No. It should be blue and blue? No. It's brown and brown? Yes. Brown and blue? No. So the option is option C. So correct answer is option C. So for the next question, a cross between two individuals results in a ratio of 9:3:3:1 for 4 possible phenotypes of the progeny. And this is an example of, now 9:3:3:1 is the phenotypic ratio of what? It is the phenotypic ratio. If you remember the ratios in a monohybrid cross, we had studied that the phenotypic ratio was 3:1, while the genotypic ratio was 1:2:1. I'm sorry. The phenotypic ratio in a genotypic ratio in a monohybrid cross was 1:2:1. Whereas in a dihybrid cross, when we studied the phenotypic ratio, it was 9:3:3:1. So this is an example of a dihybrid cross. That is answer B. Which of this following is not an acquired character? Color of the skin, color of the hair, color of the eye, or none of these? Now these all are acquired characters. These all characters are passed on from the parents to that of the offspring. So they are all acquired of the offspring from that of the parents. So the option should be none of these, because these all are acquired characters and they are asking which is not an acquired character. So option should be answer D. The cell of a human body consists of 46 pair of chromosomes. Then the number of chromosomes in a sex cell is most likely to be, it should be 46, 45, 23 or 22. So the cell of the human body consists of 46 it should be, sorry, not 46 pairs, it should be 23 pairs of chromosomes, then the number of chromosomes in a sex cell is most likely to be 23, because it cannot be 46, because when I have discussed in sexual reproduction, we had told that because we humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, that is 46 chromosomes we have. Now during the formation of the gamete, all these chromosomes, they divide, they undergo a division known as meiosis, which reduces the chromosome number to half of it. That is, it becomes n. We generally have a chromosome number of 2n, it becomes n. So we'll have 23 chromosomes, because 23 chromosomes from that of the parent A and 23 chromosomes that of the parent B, it combines to form the zygote, and the zygote gets 23 from the father and 23 from the mother. This combines to form 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes. So in a sex cell we'll have only 23 chromosomes. It should be 23, not 23 pairs. 23 pairs are there in a normal human cell of a human body. What will be the number of chromosomes present in each gamete produced by the plants if the palisade cells of the species of the plant contain 30 chromosomes? Answer should be 30. They are telling produced by the plants, the palisade cells of species contain 30 chromosomes in all. So it cannot be 60, it has to be 30, not 31, or not none of these. That means the number of chromosomes present in each of the gamete produced by the plants, the palisade cells of the species contain 30 chromosomes. Now a pregnant woman who has an equal chance of her baby being a blood group A or blood group AB, which of the following shows the possible genotypes of the mother and the father of the child? Now they are telling that a pregnant woman has an equal chance of her baby having blood group A or blood group AB. So the possible genotype of the mother and the father should be IAIA and IBO. Now why it should be? Let's see for the answers. Now see, if we make a checkerboard out of this, for all the options, the first option I have done and showed you how it is coming. If it is IB and IO, what are there, and IA and IA, so it is IA and IB, that is a blood group of AB or a blood group of A and blood group of AB and blood, because we have been told that it has to be, the baby has to have a blood group of A or AB. See here, it is either A or AB, either AB or it is A. So that the parental offspring or the parent should have a blood group of A or B. If it is having the blood group of A or B, then it will be having either IAIB, IAIB or IA, that is either blood group of AB or O. See here, AB is to A have the ratio of 1:1, so the first answer is correct. The following results were obtained by a scientist who crossed the F1 generation of a pure breeding parents for round and wrinkled seeds. So this was the results that were obtained. Now the result was obtained, that is dominant trait round seeds, recessive traits was wrinkled seeds, and total number of offsprings that were obtained was 7,524. Now 7,500, because here already the answer has come, let me explain you. Now from the above results, the actual number of round seeds were. Now they are asking that this is the total number of offsprings that has been developed, and some are round and some are wrinkled. They are asking what should be the actual number of the round seeds. Round seeds here means it is the dominant trait. Now if we look into the question, we are seeing they are telling that a pure breeding parents and round and wrinkled. So they are telling of only one character, that is round seeds or wrinkled seeds. So if we consider, or if we think that this is a monohybrid cross. This is a monohybrid cross as it involves only one character. Now if it is a monohybrid cross, if you remember, the phenotypic ratio should be 3:1. The phenotypic ratio should be 3:1. Now this 7524, if you divided it by the total number, so the total in 3:1, so the total ratio is 4. If you divide this by 4, you get 1881. I hope 1881. Now this 1880 or 7524 has to be divided into 3 parts and one part, because if you have to fit in the ratio of 3:1. So if you this into fit for the round seeds, the answer will come 5643. You will get 5643 offsprings having a round seeds out of 7524 offsprings that were produced. So this follows a proper monohybrid cross, and the correct answer should be C, that is 5643. In a garden, a pure tall plant was crossed with a pure tall. What will be the ratio of the pure tall plants to the pure short plants in the F2 generation? In the F2 generation, what will be the ratio of pure tall plants to the pure in the F2 generation? Now they are asking, now they are telling it is a monohybrid cross. Okay, monohybrid cross has been done. Now there are capital T, small t, small t. Now if you make a checkerboard out of it, what do we get? The genotypic ratio. They are telling pure short and pure tall. So we have to consider the genotypic ratio. We have to think about the genotypic ratio. Pure tall and pure short. Pure tall and pure short means they divide, or we know that in the genotypic ratio for a monohybrid cross, it segregates in the ratio of 1:2:1. So pure tall, and what does it represent? 1 represents pure dominant, 2 represents hybrid, and again 1 represents pure recessive. So the ratio of pure tall and pure short should be 1:1. That is, if it is 4 total number of plants are there, 1 plant should be pure dominant, 1 plant should be pure recessive, and 2 plants should be heterozygous. It will represent as a dominant trait, but genotypically it will be heterozygous condition, that is capital T small t or capital W small w, like that. So the pure tall and pure plant should be 1:1, that is option C. In human males, all chromosomes are paired perfectly except one. These unpaired chromosomes are autosomes, centrosomes, Y chromosomes and X chromosomes. That is, so option are 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 4, or none of these. So which is not? Autosomes are perfectly paired, because we have told that 22 pairs of autosomes. Centrosomes are not but are a part of the chromosome. They are not related to the pairing of the chromosome. Y chromosome and X chromosomes are those which are not paired. So the answer should be 3 and 4. Answer B. Option B. In the next one, in the human blood grouping, 4 basic blood types are A, type B, type AB and type O. They are all codominant traits, dominant traits, recessive traits or inherited traits. Now this blood grouping, they are all codominant traits, dominant traits, recessive traits or inherited traits. They are all codominant traits. They are all codominant traits. Because each of it is not that they both express together. If it is A from the parent or the mother, and if it is blood group B from the father, then a offspring can have a blood grouping of AB. Blood grouping of AB. It is not that in the presence of A and B only A expresses, B doesn't express, or in the presence of A and B, or in the presence of AB. So in the presence of A and B, both A and B gets expressed, so it is a codominant system. Two pink colored flowers on crossing resulted in two pink and one white flower progeny. The nature of the cross will be double fertilization, self-pollination, cross-pollination, or no fertilization. So the nature of the cross will be self-pollination, because the whatever the ratio that they are telling of 1:2:1, that comes in the monohybrid cross, and it gets expressed only after developing of the F1 and then selfing the things, or then selfing the plants that were obtained, or selfing the flowers or the plants that were obtained. So it goes for B, self-pollination. A Mendelian experiment, a tall pea plant bearing violet flowers with short pea plants bearing white flowers. The progeny of all violet flowers, but almost half of it was short. This suggested that the genetic makeup of the tall parent can be depicted as. Now they are telling in a Mendelian, a tall pea plant bearing violet flowers, while with short pea plant bearing white flowers. The progeny of all bore violet flowers, but almost were short. Now they are telling almost were short. Tall pea plant bearing violet flowers. Now they are telling what genetic makeup of the tall parent can be depicted as. Now they are telling that mostly all the pea plant, whatever we got for the progeny, they were all violet flowers, but mostly they were short. Almost half of it was short. They were violet flowers. Now violet flowers, and out of violet and white flowers we can understand that violet flowers is the dominant trait. Violet flower is the dominant trait. If so, violet flower is the dominant trait, so the parent had the pure dominant genotype, genetic makeup, because in the offspring also the violet flowers was also expressed. So we can tell that here it should be capital W, capital W. Now we exactly don't know for tall and for violet. If we are taking for tall, representing for the tall and the short, we are taking capital T and small t, and for representing violet and white, we are taking capital W and small w. Now when I told you in the offspring they are telling all are violet flowers. When they are bearing all violet flowers, that means in the genetic or the parental constitution, the violet flowers, that is, they were homozygous dominant, that there was no presence of the recessive trait, that is, it was truly dominant, that is capital W, but they are telling almost half of it was short. Half of it was short in the offsprings, means the tall plant that we were seeing during the parental combinations or during the crossing of the plant, the parent was not purely dominant. It was in a heterozygous condition. The tall gene was in a heterozygous condition. So it should be capital T, small t. Because that's why in the F or the offspring or the next generation we are getting almost half of it was short. So it should be capital T, small t, capital W, capital W. Because this is capital T all, then it should all have been tall and violet flowers. Here if it is tall, because all are violet flowers, small w represents white flowers. So it is tall and white, it cannot be. And this represents that it will be tall as well as violet, but in the next generation it will give half tall, half short, half white flowers, half violet flowers. But this will give you all violet flowers with half of a short plants. So answer should be C. The two versions of a trait which are brought by female and a male gametes are situated at the copies of the same chromosome, two different chromosomes, sex chromosomes, or any chromosomes. Now they are telling the two versions of the trait which are brought by female and the male. Now if it is situated, the versions or this difference in the characters were situated in the copies of the same chromosomes, then it would not have come, or it would not have shown the differences. It should be on the sex chromosomes. Answer is C. It should be on the sex chromosome, because the characters which get represented or which are carried forward, they are mostly from the copies of the sex chromosome, because that keeps varying and that brings the changes in the phenotypic constitution of the organism. So this is about all the questions that I wanted to discuss for the MCQs on hereditary. And Hope you have liked my video. If you have liked it, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any queries regarding more questions or you want to clarify any other questions, please write in the comment section. I will surely come back to you. Thank you.